Hey everyone, welcome to your Universe Z, the place where we talk all about the Dragon Ball universe. Today we are going to go through Frieza's origin story, and if you would like to see more Dragon Ball content, please leave your like and subscribe to join our Universe Z. Frieza is by far one of the most famous and cruelest characters in the entire Dragon Ball saga. As someone who is quite memorable and who keeps bringing us epic fight scenes, Frieza is someone worthy of being called a good antagonist, especially when we consider his almost frequent role within Dragon Ball seasons over the years. But was Frieza that kind of being from an early age? Someone cruel and evil who always put himself above others above any situation? Was he always that kind of hot-headed character who caused trouble? What is his relationship with Beerus? How did he build his grandiose and fearful empire in Universe 7? In today's video we're going to talk a little more about Frieza and his trajectory as such a charismatic and worth remembering character from the entire Dragon Ball franchise. Frieza was one of the main antagonists in Dragon Ball. He is the leader of his own imperialist army and emperor of parts of Universe 7. He is feared throughout the universe for his cruelty and power. He is a descendant of Chilled, the second son of King Cold, the younger brother of Cooler and father of Kuriza. Frieza is considered Goku's greatest enemy and archenemy. He has made several returns since his fight with Goku in Namekusei, including multiple invasions of Earth. Recently, he was chosen to represent Universe 7 as a replacement for Good Beerus. This makes him the most recurring villain in the Dragon Ball series. After the events of the Tournament of Power, he is revived and regains his title as Emperor of Universe. Unlike most primary antagonists, Frieza exhibits a civilized and refined demeanor, speaking with a regal and eloquent nature. He tends to handle most situations with a systematic approach, using black humor, making twisted jokes and mocking his enemies in bad taste before killing them. Frieza is fully aware of his reputation for brutality and makes no effort to deny it, but instead pokes fun at himself as evidenced by his introduction to the Namekuseians. Frieza can best be summed up as an intelligent, composed, but extraordinarily sadistic and completely heartless sociopath. While Frieza himself has never tried to kill his father or brother during his lifetime, and will work together with them to deal with threats to his family's reign as shown in the Trunks saga, he has almost no real love or attachment to them and even scoffs at the idea of reviving his father when Sorbet suggested it in Resurrection F and Dragon Ball Super. Frieza is shown as a perfectionist, expecting nothing less from his soldiers, as any failure in his eyes will be met with extreme punishment, if not death. Even more, he has absolutely no qualms about slaughtering his own forces, no matter how loyal to him, simply for being in his way, as seen when he destroyed planet Vegeta despite most of his men being within the trajectory, as well as his reason in the Japanese version for executing a soldier before deciding to deal with future Trunks personally. His core, Frieza enjoys glory, power, agony, domination, control, and destruction, as shown in his enjoyment of the destruction of planet Vegeta, as well as his manic joy of destroying planets and making his enemies suffer before killing them. He is one of the most sadistic and megalomaniacal beings in the known universes, without any sympathetic or redeeming traits. Even more, he has a frank disdain for such happy environments. Due to these combined traits, Frieza is more of a malignant narcissist than just a psychopath. During his imprisonment in Hell, he found his constant company of stuffed animals, fairies, and angels dancing merrily and serenading him an absolute torture, which turned out to be a fitting eternal punishment for the evil tyrant. Frieza has a deeply cynical view of others, believing that everyone is selfish and untrustworthy like himself. Ironically, Frieza is outspoken against all forms of nobility, finding it a terrible concept. Perhaps Frieza's most notable characteristic is his enormous ego, matched only by his malice and power. Because of his high opinion of himself, he tends to react to any situation relatively even. Thus, Frieza is quite confident in his abilities, usually referring to his enemies as inferior life forms, like insects, and often relishes the opportunity to mock them, such as not using his limbs in some fights. For much of his life, Frieza was seen as one of the most powerful beings in the universe, with the god of destruction Beerus and Majin Buu being the only beings he was warned by his father, King Cold, not to face. As a consequence, Frieza believes that no force can challenge his authority. Due to his arrogance, Frieza generally refrains from fighting his enemies. Instead, he relies on his minions to deal with challengers and only personally confronts his opponents when forced to do so. This is best shown during the events on planet Namek and after his Overall, Frieza seems to simultaneously possess a superiority and inferiority complex, as he can be quickly driven to the edge of anger when enemies prove capable of dominating or even rivaling him. At the same time, Frieza possesses a competitive nature, enjoying an enemy who can withstand his power. Frieza's father was a mutant with an abnormally high level of power. Because of this, Frieza also possesses the mutant traits, making him and his father King Cold the only ones among the Frieza race who possess the impressive level of power and cruelty shown in the series. Even among his family and the rest of his race, Frieza was a prodigy whose natural growth and power required him to never undergo any real training and eventually be recognized as the most powerful warrior in the universe. It is said that from the moment Frieza was born he was more powerful and ruthless than his father. Frieza's overwhelming power and genius for evil led Cold to want to hand over control of the universe to Frieza immediately. According to the guides, in the year 731, Frieza annexed the Saiyans into his Frieza force. Thanks to his son's potential, Cold handed over control to him while he was still a child. In Broly, he was introduced to the Saiyans in year 732, who were told by Cold that Frieza was their new master. At some point, King Cold told Frieza that there were only two entities in the universe that Frieza should never cross, Majin Buu and Beerus the Destroyer. Frieza annexed the Saiyans into his Frieza force and listened to the legends of the Super Saiyan and the Super Saiyan God. At some point in Frieza's past, he conquered at least 448 planets, taking control of 70% of universe. Frieza eventually met Beerus himself. Two got along very well, as they both enjoyed destroying things. However, once Frieza got carried away and made Beerus angry, Beerus fought Frieza and easily defeated the tyrant. Unbeknownst to Frieza, his arrogant attitude angered the god of destruction. He thought about destroying Frieza once he saved Beerus from the trouble of destroying planet Vegeta itself, although he never did. At some point, Frieza encountered the Galactic Patrol and when they faced him in combat, he easily defeated them, so the patrol decided that they should avoid Frieza at all costs. Frieza had many races under his control in his planetary trade, including the Saiyans. Endowed with natural fighting skill, strength, and the ability to become stronger after each battle, the Saiyans became powerful weapons in Frieza's subjugation of planets. However, he noted that they were never fully loyal to him due to their pride. However, those same abilities made them a liability to the paranoid Frieza, afraid that if left unchecked, the Saiyans might unite and dominate him, or one day provide a warrior to rival Frieza himself, like a Super Saiyan or a Super Saiyan God. Because of this, and also because of a past encounter with God of Destruction Beerus, who asked him to end the Saiyans for him, he decided to end the planet and its inhabitants, despite his attendant saying it would be a shame to waste such powerful warriors. He also eventually forced King Vegeta to give him his son, Vegeta, as part of his continued cooperation. However, King Vegeta secretly intended to betray Frieza before he could let him have his son. From here on, what we follow is nothing more than what we properly followed in the anime regarding the Saiyans and how they were later completely destroyed in that story we know perfectly well. The fact is that Frieza, from the old days, really drew attention and was still quite dangerous. That hasn't changed, even though so much time has passed. It will probably continue this way for a long time to come. After all, it's part of his arrogant personality, isn't it? But what about you? Did you know about Frieza? Did you know that he already knew Beerus a long time ago? What do you think about the character? Leave your opinion in the comments. That's it. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any suggestions for videos, don't forget to comment here below, because I'll be reading all of them as I always do. Also, don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed the video and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any content from your Universe Z.